Hello, viewers and the students. Welcome in this class of contract, which is going to be held today. Now, I have privilege to discuss the section 56 of the Contract Act, in which the impossibility of contract has been discussed and doctrine of frustration or subsequent impossibility of the contract has been discussed, and so we are going to discuss all about the section 56. Now, as our past experience says that the impossibility makes the contract void. The meaning of void is in Hindi shunnya, and the contract is no more. Now, there are two circumstances of the contract. One is initial circumstance and another is subsequent circumstance. First, when the impossible act or event is related with the contract, it is called void ab initio, whereas after the agreement is done and contract becomes possible subsequently, it becomes impossible for the parties to perform reciprocal performance. Then it becomes essential or necessary that contract is now impossible, and so it becomes void. In this way, Section 56 deals with the impossibility of the contract. Now, Section 56 has been divided in two paras, para 1 and para 2. Para 1 as well as para 2 are concerned. Both of them are important, but the para 2 gives us the doctrine of frustration also and impossibility of subsequent contract and subsequent impossibility. Impossibility which the parties knew before the contract, then it is useless and vain to enter into the contract. But one of the parties knew and knows the subsequent impossibility of the contract, and if he does the contract knowing the impossibility of the event or act, then the law make the redressal of the other party in the form of compensation. So there are so many things which are discussed in the section 56. Now, if there is no any intention of the parties in the contract and subsequent event takes place, then there is no question of any compensation, and grounds are also there enumerated in this section, which we have to read out. Now let us see what para 1 says about the void contract. The para 1 and section 56 says contract to do act afterward becoming impossible or unlawful. Now let us see the para, and before we go into the para, let us see an example of para 1. A and B contract to marry each other. Before the time of fixed for the marriage, A goes mad. The contract becomes void. It is very easy to understand that without the intention of the parties, without the intention of the one of the party, the circumstance becomes under the impossibility, and the subject matter becomes impossible. Then there is no chance of any contract, and so it is better to understand that the contract is said to be void without the default of both the parties. Now let us see the paragraph of the first para. A contract to do an act which after the contract is made becomes impossible, or by the reason of the some event which the promisor could not prevent, unlawful, becomes void within the act, or which the act becomes impossible or unlawful. Means it is very easy to understand what happens when the subject matter of the contract becomes impossible. In the example I have quoted you, that A and B are agreed to marry, but at the time of marriage, A becomes mad. Then how the one party, that means A, can marry to B? So in this case, the event becomes impossible. So the act is not possible to do. Means a party has no chance to perform his own initiative. This is all about your para 1. Now, sometime impossibility is not initially exists, but after the contract is made, the subsequent act or event become impossible to compel the party to enter into the contract, and so the parties become unhelpful to perform their performance in this regard. Now, if we suppose that the promisor in the contract knew that subsequently the act or event shall be impossible. He knew, but not the promising. Then, after the failure or the contract becomes void, the promisor has to compensate promisee so that his intention was not good, and he might have said the promisee that the contract would not be held perfectly because the in subsequent event it would be not possible. Then only he can escape from the making compensation to the other party. Otherwise, he has to compensate the other party. And now, if the voluntarily impossibility comes in the way of the contract, then the said wage is called the act of the God and act of the circumstance. In this way, there is no question of any compensation given by the one of the parties. Now, the impossibility of subsequent impossibility makes the parties or makes the contract as a frustration, which does not permit the contract, or it does not bind the parties to the contract for a legal obligation of the parties, and they are not able to perform their reciprocal promises also. But if the impossibility is known by one of the parties, then in that case the party who knew the thing, knew the impossibility, he has to pay the compensation to the parties or to another party who has sustained the loss or any other things which might be compensated. Now let us see what paragraph says. Where one person has promised to do something which he knew or with reasonable diligence might have known, and which the promisee did not know to be impossible or unlawful, such promisor must compensate to such promisee for any loss which such promisee has sustained through the non-performance of the promisee. So, in this way, or by the meaning of the paragraph, it is very easy to say that if the promisor knew or by some diligence he might have known that the subsequent impossibility may be there, then in that case he must convey or conveys to the promisee in this regard. Otherwise, he would take loss. But if he does so, there is no question of compensation. And if he does not convey the other party, then he has to make the compensation. Now, the doctrine of frustration is related with this paragraph, means para 2 also, because in Hindi the meaning of frustration is very simple, that vivastha or nirasha, and this makes the principle of frustration or doctrine of frustration, which have been existed in the England English law or English Contract Act, which also in the Indian contract too. Now, this frustration makes the parties, if they are voluntarily innocent or they do not harm each other, in that case, there is no question of any compensation to each other. Now, if there is a voluntary impossibility of the contract, then some grounds are enumerated also on which the impossibility of the contract becomes possible and the contract is said to be void. And these grounds may be enumerated as follows. First is that destruction of the subject matter. As I earlier in several times discussed about an example by stating that if A marries C, the daughter of B, then B shall give him 1 lakh rupees. But at the time of marriage, either the daughter of B is dead or C marries to another party D. In that case, subject matter becomes impossible. Then the marriage cannot be held in this way. So destruction of subject matter is related with the impossibility of the contract. Next point is non-happening of the certain event. If certain event is necessary in the contract, then certain must be there. Otherwise, contract is said to be void. Now, third point is that death or personal incapacity of the parties. By the way, if the parties or one of the parties is dead, so it becomes impossible of the contract and contract said to be void. Now, next is that if change in law becomes inevitably in the country, then also the contract becomes impossible and so it is void. Now, outbreak of war or declare of war is become necessary in the country, then at the ground of this, the contract becomes impossible. Now, if there is a fundamental change in the circumstance, then contract must be changed and contract is become impossible and so the contract is now void. These are the some grounds by which you can quote the subsequent impossibility of the contract, and the doctrine of frustration is that frustration makes the parties frustrated because frustration gives no result, and without result they become, or one of the party becomes sad, and sad gives nothing but frustration. Thank you. It is all about your frustration.